Hello, everybody. Hello. And we are back again for another edition of What's Next podcast for women. And look, I have another amazing co host with me this week, you guys. So, you know what? She's going to help us to get ready for the holidays. Better yet, she's going to help us ease our minds for the holidays. So, I would like for you all to grab your pen and paper, go get your favorite evening beverage. Look, I already drink mine. You see, I got my poncho on, so I'm a little cold, so I had to drink my beverage already. But grab your evening beverage, your evening snack, grab your friends, your girlfriends and girlfriend, and come on in and sit down. And we are so excited for you to join us. But before I go any further, let's get some things on the table and out here. So tonight's show is it is sponsored by two. We have two amazing sponsors. Again, the first one is Elisa Hurt, who's the CEO of Hurt Flex Your Voice, Flex Your Voice Marketing, the marketing guru who can get your message out by flexing your voice. I will drop in the feed if she's on here. Drop it in the feed for how you can connect with Elisa and business owners. What perfect way to start getting your business ready for 2021 is working with your content manager so you can connect to your ideal client in your community. With that being said, it's Win Wednesday, and you guys know what I love to do. I love to celebrate you. So, what is your win for this week? Even if you've missed your win, but you know what it is, it's still a win. I love to hear your win because I love to celebrate you. You'll get to hear more about us and you'll get to hear more about our wins. But I want to drop your wins in here so we can celebrate you now. So, without further ado, you guys, I have an amazing co host today. And guess what, ladies? She is a cook. So, she is going to be able to help alleviate some of the stress off of us. And she's going to give us some tips and she's going to help us navigate through the holiday holiday, oh my goodness, holidays as we come upon us. So, without further ado, it's Marie. How are you?
Oh, Pamela, I'm doing great. I'm so glad to
Yay.
be here tonight. It's so much fun. And yes, I am all about helping busy families, busy people get weeknight dinner on the table, even when life is crazy. I am the owner of feedyourfamilytonight.com, and that is my goal in life. But we're heading into the holidays, and there are so many ways to get into holiday overwhelm. And tonight, I want to talk with you about ways you can get out of the overwhelm so that you can focus on what's most important and create connection and calm this holiday season.
Okay, you said a key word, calm, especially right now during the time that we are facing. So, what the perfect way is to have someone help you be calm, right? But before we
Yeah.
go any further, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how did you get to this point?
Well, sure. I'm Marie Feebach. I am a married mother of four. My kids are all teenagers now. My twin girls turned 13 last month. So I have 13-year-old girls. I have a 15-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy. And I live in Kansas. I live in Wichita, Kansas. And I started Feed Your Family Tonight in 2017. I have known since I was a very little girl that there was a business inside me and I didn't know what it was. And in 2017, I was working a contract job and I knew the contract was going to be ending. And so it was my golden window. I took an entrepreneurship class, and the leader of that class invited us to think about what we had and what people were coming to us for. And at this time, my twins were playing competitive soccer. And if any of you are soccer moms out there, you know that everything is in the middle of dinner. And
Yes.
the moms were sitting on the sidelines and they were saying, we're going to hit the drive through, we're going to go home, eat dinner, get homework done, get the kids in the bath, and get them to bed. And I was doing all of that except for hitting the drive through. And they were asking me how I managed to make it happen because I was leading just as crazy a life as they were. And I had to kind of reverse engineer what I was doing. And I created my 3-step process for getting weeknight dinner on the table. And that was the beginnings of Feed Your Family Tonight. it now is a podcast. So if your
Oh,
listeners want another podcast, I have the Feed Your Family Tonight podcast, and I have a cookbook, I have my website, and then my favorite part of my job is food TV. And I do a weekly cooking segment on my local ABC affiliate, still dreaming of my Food Network show or my show on Chip and JoJo's network someday. That's the ultimate goal. But right now, I'm enjoying every minute of doing my weekly news cooking segment. And even with COVID, I've been cooking from home and sending in my tapes to the studio. And so that's a little bit about me and kind of how I got to where I am now.
oh my goodness. You know what? You're an amazing woman. I
Oh,
so admire you. And one thing I would love to first talk about is how to cook during all this busy time in the kitchen. Now, and let me say this, there's only two in my household. And I can't even imagine, I can't even get to that. So I would love for you to let's start there. How do we even start planning to get food on the table during all the busy time? Even though COVID has thrown us a loop, we are home more, but I still don't have time to do it. So how do you do that?
Pamela, the key to weeknight dinner success is to start with your activities. You have to look at what your day is like, and you need to plan your meals around the reality of your life. So if you're cooking for two, but you have a day where you have meetings back to back to back, and 5 o'clock you're going to get done with work or get home from work and you're going to be toast, that is not the day to plan a meal that takes a lot of cooking. That is a meal that has something that you can quickly throw in the oven or something that you take out of the freezer. You want something really simple. But there are other days you have a little bit more energy and you can cook something like a stir fry because you've got 20 or 30 minutes to physically stand at the stove and cook before you have to eat. Today I have 3 webinars, and I knew today was going to be a busy day, so I planned chicken tortilla soup for my family because I had the chicken in the freezer. I had the chicken broth in the freezer, and I knew it would take me 5 minutes to throw all of that in the pot with a couple of cans of beans and corn and a couple of other things. And my family would be able to eat dinner, and I wouldn't have to worry about it because it was fast and easy. But then yesterday, yeah, actually yesterday was busy too, but a couple of days ago, I had time to sit and cook a stir fry for my family, or I have time to fix dinner. So you start with your activities, and then you do what I call set a dinner bell. Your dinner bell is the target time that you're going to eat. And in my family, that dinner bell changes every day. And I don't have all 6 of us eating at the same time, hardly ever. But when most of us are going to eat, that's when my dinner bell is. Or sometimes my dinner bell is when the first person has to eat. It might be that kid eats and then everybody else eats a little bit later. But I
Yeah.
set my dinner bell and I plan my meals around our activities and my energy level. And then here's
Oh,
another little trick. Here's another little trick is I write my prep. Your listeners can get my free weekly meal planning sheet. It's at feedyourfamilytonight.com/plan. And it outlines how to follow this step process. And with this meal planning sheet, there's a place for prep. And the prep is what you do to be successful later in the week. So if I am making red beans and rice on Wednesday, on Tuesday, I'm going to write soak beans. Or if I'm doing a roast beef on Sunday, on Friday, I'm going to write take roast out of the freezer. And I do my prep when I
nice.
clean up my dinner dishes. And it takes me 3, 4 minutes, but those 3, 4 minutes of prep that I can do a couple of days before or the day before will help me be successful at 5 o'clock later on in the week.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Look, I've already been writing down my notes. I'm so excited. Oh, you are a gem already. You are my lifesaver. You must be glad we don't live close because I'd be like, girl, okay, now I know you need to help me declutter that piece of my life so I can be so efficient because like you said, especially, and I love that you said plan it around your activities. Man, that is a great nugget, ladies. So I hope you are all sitting here writing down, plan your meals around your activity or planning the meals around the activity is so good. And I love the having the dinner bell. That is really
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Oh my
because
goodness.
our lives are different. A pre-made meal plan, a lot of people are out there with pre-made meal plans. Some are paid, some are free. But I've learned over the years that what my family's going to eat is not what your family's going to eat. And my life and my days of the week are different than what your days of the week. And so a one size fits all solution doesn't work. But the Feed Your Family Tonight system works because it's all about you and your family, the foods that you like to eat, the schedule that you're leading. That's why the process of Feed Your Family Tonight helps so many families.
I love it. Real quick, let's stop here. Sherry says her win for the week is kitchen appliances and a washer and dryer is in. I seen that. You yay, go girl. She does say it's competitive sports is so time consuming. Yes, they are. My daughter was in competition cheerleading, so all that I totally can relate to you parents. And now she's trying to do it with my granddaughter. I'm not sure about this yet, but I totally get about being busy. But I love the part of who needs to eat first. I love that concept because when she was doing it, I was trying to make us all eat at one because I wanted that family time together. And that was so hard to do because of course she's competing, she's also practicing, she's leaving the house in and out, and it's just so hard to boggle it down. Well, let me ask you this. We have some of the mothers also here are still in the corporate world. What tip can you
Yes.
give them on helping them, sitting at the corporate desk and trying to get things together for them? What can you give
Okay.
them?
I have number one tip for working moms, and you're going to laugh, but I'm telling you, once you try it, you're going to be like, okay, Marie knew what she was talking about. You're going to roll your eyes, is get an apron. And the reason why is because when you walk in the door from work, the first thing you usually want to do is go to your bedroom and change your clothes, right? You want to get
True.
out of your work clothes. Okay, take off your shoes, but put an apron on over your work clothes and start dinner. That may be as simple as getting water boiling for some pasta. It may be like what I did tonight, where I pull a few things out of the freezer and I put them into my pot and I get dinner cooking. Maybe you start by getting something in the oven. And what that's going to do is that's going to save you 20 or 30 minutes. You can get those things starting to cook and then go change your clothes and come back and finish. But the act of starting it the minute you walk in the
Mhm.
door is going to save you so much time. So that's
I
my number one tip for corporate moms.
I
My next
love
tip for corporate moms, you love it?
yeah.
It sounds so silly and it's really rudimentary, but it makes a big difference.
I'm going to go buy me an apron. I
Yes,
promise you. I'm
get
going to
an
get me one.
apron. Everyone put an apron on their Christmas list. because you don't want to get your clothes all yucky, but it gets you started and it saves you time because how easy is it when we get home from work? I mean, I've been there and you take off your clothes and then you scroll through your phone a little bit and you've lost an hour. If you can walk in the house and get dinner started and go change your clothes, you're going to save yourself so much time. Second tip is use these wonderful things called grocery pickup and grocery delivery. You can save all of your trips to the grocery store, and you're good. Any fees that you have to pay, you will make up in time and sanity.
Oh my goodness, you're
Let someone
right.
else walk through the grocery store for you.
Whoever came
And
up with that
the other thing
idea,
is when you're using grocery pickup, oh,
yeah,
there's a mom.
whoever created
You knew
that
I was a
idea,
mom.
oh, I commend her because I needed that. I needed that, with all the going on in the busy time, and especially those of us who are still in corporate and still, running our business. So this is such a helpful tip. I love it. You're right. I hope it is a mom because I promise you, we need this service a long time ago, so long ago.
Oh, I needed it when my kids were little. I mean,
Oh,
mine are so
right.
much bigger now. I needed it. So use that grocery pickup, and that's going to help you. You'll curate your list, and you'll know the things that you're buying week in and week out. And the other thing is, You don't have to have everything Pinterest perfect. Serving your
True.
family chicken nuggets or macaroni and cheese is enough. And
That's
everybody
true.
has seasons of life where they have more time and seasons of life where they have less time. And acknowledge the season that you're in and know that it's okay to buy back a little bit of your time by using grocery shopping services, by using a little bit of food that's slightly prepared for you. I mean, the simple difference of getting your chicken meat diced into 1 inch chunks before you pick it up can save you the act of having to clean up, raw chicken, which we all, everybody kind of freaks out about raw chicken. So
Mhm.
use your service, know your butcher, and let them help you. They will cut most major grocery stores will cut your chicken breasts into 1 inch chunks if you're doing a stir fry. Some of them will even cook your chicken or your fish there, and you can buy it cooked. A lot of people don't. Whole Foods will do that. Most Kroger stores will do that. A lot of major grocery chains actually do that, and a lot of people don't know that. So get to know the services of your grocery store because it can save you time.
Oh my goodness, these are great tips. Ladies, I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, I know there's some men out here that are watching us. I hope you guys have grabbed your notebook, your pen and paper, because she has given us some amazing nuggets on how we can become stress free through all this that is going on during the day and time. And, we can't even really honestly say it's COVID because we're giving you tips that you can implement now that will relieve that stress. And we need any place that we can find where we can relieve the stress is so important. And look, she has given us so many. My paper is like, I have blocked mine out. Like, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. And I love everybody. And I will drop it in the feed where you can get her free planner so you can start using your planner on, how to prepare, how to plan your week. That is such an amazing. I'm a planner, so I can't wait to print that off, so I can hang that on my wall and do that. I'm gonna do that on it. So, with that planner, how often do you recommend them doing the planner? Is it a daily? Is it weekly? How do they do that?
I believe in weekly meal planning. Some people are big about planning a month at a time. My weeks and my children's schedules are so much that things are changing. And so I like to do my planning. I plan on Mondays. A lot of people, especially if you're in corporate, are planning on the weekends. The planner
Mm-hmm.
works no matter what, but it takes me about 15 minutes at the beginning of the week. And I list my activities. Let me see if I can find a copy of the sheet to kind of show you. I list my activities and then I figure out when we're going to eat. I set my dinner bell. That's kind of got a glare, but there you go. You can
Oh,
kind of
I
see
love it.
how the sheet works. And so I list my activities, and then this line is for your dinner bell. And then this is where you write your plans and then your prep. Let me go this way. It's backwards. So, yeah, the day, your activities, your dinner bell, your dinner plan, and your prep. And I plan on Mondays, and then I sometimes go grocery shopping on Mondays or Tuesdays. But you could do it on the weekends. Type in your grocery list. And here's the thing is, we talk about New Year's resolutions. I know we're kind of talking about the holidays a little bit tonight. New Year's resolutions, Americans try New Year's resolutions that affect their health, affect their money, and affect their organization. And when you meal plan, you're going to be affecting your health because you're going to be eating less sodium, you're going to be eating out less, you're going to naturally eat more vegetables. When you eat at home, it's statistically proven that you eat more vegetables. You're going to affect your money because you are not going to be eating out as much. You are not going to be buying unnecessary things at the grocery store that go bad. How many of us have bought food intending to cook and then we have a night? Yes, you don't have energy. And you're like, I
Right.
don't feel like cooking tonight. We're going to order a pizza. I don't have it in
Right.
me. So when you plan your meals around your activities, you are going to have less food waste and you are getting more organized. And I love the quote from Dale Carnegie where he says, 1 hour of planning can save you 10 hours in execution.
Oh,
And
so
that's what planning your meals is about. If you spend 15 minutes at the beginning of the week, you are going to, and what's great is you've done it and you can free your brain of that. How many of you have sat at work all day? knowing that at 5 o'clock you have to come home and fix dinner, and you kind of have that dinner dread, and it
That's
kind of
me.
weighs on you, and it twirls in the back of your head, and it
Yeah,
burdens you. And this, by doing it at the beginning of the week, you alleviate that dinner dread. Now, here's the magic, Pamela. I haven't talked about the magic of the Feed Your Family Tonight system, but it's always have a backup, because there's going to be a day where something's going to happen and you're not going to be able to execute your regular meal plan. It might be that your day turned awful and you just don't have energy. It might be that your kid broke a bracket on their braces and you're spending an hour in the orthodontist office. There's 100 reasons why your day goes off the rails, but it will happen someday. It's not an if, it's a when. If you can get the ingredients to get any meal on the table in 20 minutes or less, with ingredients you keep in the house all the time. And that's really important, because once you need a backup, it's too late to go and get the ingredients.
yes, it
So
is.
you want to have 2 or 3 backup meals that you can get on the table in 20 minutes or less, even when life is crazy. My favorite backup meal is bean and cheese quesadillas. I keep a can of refried beans. I keep a bag of tortillas in my freezer. I keep a bag of shredded cheese in my freezer. Cheese freezes really well. That's a little trick. And I can make those into quesadillas, and I can cut up some fruit or steam a bag of frozen vegetables, and dinner's on the table. A lot of families use breakfast as dinner as a backup meal. So they keep a box of pancake mix and they keep a dozen eggs in the refrigerator, and they can get that together in 20 minutes or less, because everyone's going to have a day when life happens. And when
Yeah,
you have a backup meal at home, you're going to free yourself of having to go through the drive-through. It's going to take you at least 20 minutes to get to the drive-through and back anyway. So you're
so
freeing
true.
yourself of that time. You're saving money, and you're saving mental space and mental burden. The choice is already made. When things go off the rails, I make bean and cheese quesadillas. When things go off the rails, you make pancakes and eggs. Have it ready, because life is going to happen.
I so agree. This has been so helpful. I love for you. We're gonna have you keep coming on here on a regular basis, because they so helped so many times. And it's seriously, because right now, okay, yes, we have the COVID going on, and we're all adjusting to life being as COVID being part of our lives on a day-to-day basis. But then once we are, whatever life looks like, once we COVID or whatever we're going to do during the COVID, we still need these. And so I promise you, ladies, these are some great tips that is going to make your day easier. And it's all about making life easier for you, because then think about it. Once you have gotten this off of your mind, now you can start thinking about, okay, what can I do for me? What is my what's next? How am I going to work on my what's next? And you have it. You have it, a simple tip and tools right here. So you guys, I will definitely drop in the feed her planner. I'm definitely going to be using that. I'm going to print them out and start hanging them on my wall, so I know I can do them over the weekend, which that's when I do my planning. Let's see here. Sherry says the apron idea is interesting. There are some cute aprons these days. So
Mm-hmm.
true. She also said awesome tips. And
Thank you.
then Nancy says, hey, Nancy, thank you for joining. She says, life's going to happen. Free your mind space up. You have to, because once you know you have that little piece of mind space, now you can still work. Now you can start working on, okay, what's next? What is something I can work on for me to get me to the next level? And this is it. This is so perfect. And so I so appreciate you coming on here and talking about this for us.
Well, Pamela, you said something about what's next, and I really want to dig into that a little bit, because organization, true organization, leads to productivity, and
Yes.
productivity leads to time, and time leads to creativity. I
Yes.
talk about with my husband a lot, where I have something and I'm like, I just need some spaciousness to accomplish
Right.
this next goal. The task may only take me 20 minutes, but I need the spaciousness of 3 hours so that my mind can sit and be in that task. And
Yes.
when you are getting organized, you will become more productive. And the more
So true.
productive you are, the more time you have. And the more time you have, the more creative you can be. And
Yeah,
this is just one little piece that really will help you. And it gives you that calm, which is
oh
kind of
my
where we
goodness,
started, remember? It's is that calm. And the calm comes from spaciousness and time.
it does. And we need it. That is so true. Especially, like I said, the space, the spaciousness and the mind and the calmness. Like you said, when your mind's calm, the creativity is like this. So, ladies, what way to do it is to ease your mind with space, with some meal planning. And she even gave us the tip on some easy meals, in case we do run into that day that you're just like, there's so much going on, which is the beans and cheese and the burritos. That sounds so good. And the breakfast. Oh my goodness. If my grandkids were in here, they'd be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Because my grandkids love to have breakfast food anytime. They're so game to have breakfast anytime. So that is such a great tool. Ladies and gentlemen who is out there, if you guys have any questions for Marie while she's on here, please drop them in the feed. I will definitely get them to her. If you're not Nancy, I know you're on here. What's your win for this week? We have some wins, but we love to celebrate you. As Sherry has already told us her win for the week. So definitely drop your win for the week. So Mary, I don't know why I keep calling you Mary. Marie.
Okay. I answer to it. It's fine. It's my mom's name. It's good.
So it's a P in there. It's somewhere in there. So with that being said, let's talk about your system that you created. So tell everybody a little bit about your family planning, your what is it? The family feed your family tonight. So tell
Yeah,
us a
so
little
I
bit
have
about
a
it.
holiday planning guide. So this is my holiday planning guide, and it is a digital download at feedyourfamilytonight.com/holiday. So it's really simple to find. This is it's November, and it is time to start getting ready for the holidays. And holidays are going to look a little different for a lot of us this year. Um, we may not be going to the large family gatherings for Thanksgiving. We might not be traveling quite as much for Christmas, but there are still hundreds of little micro decisions that we as women are making to create a holiday experience for our families. And these hundreds of decisions swirl in our head, and they can overwhelm us and they can
Yeah.
steal our calm. And the key to getting that calm back is to take these decisions out of our head and put them on paper. And I am a pen and paper girl. I know a lot of people are really digital, but I have my binder, and I have my Christmas binder, and my Christmas binder and my Thanksgiving binder is here to keep me sane. And this holiday planner talks about almost everything I could possibly think of for holidays. And I'm talking gift giving. I am talking about food. I am talking about gatherings. I am talking about donations. All of the organizations hit us at the end of the year for donations. So being intentional about donations, being intentional about decorating and gift wrapping. And all of these things are in this planner to help you get it out of your head and onto paper. One of my favorite things in this planner is I do a countdown to Thanksgiving. So if you are cooking Thanksgiving dinner, you know what to do 2 weeks ahead of time, what to do 1 week ahead of time, and then every day Thanksgiving week, so that you don't end up like a rookie. Like a rookie, and you have things that are supposed to be in the oven at two different temperatures at the same time. It's a way to process all of your planning and get it so that you can have Thanksgiving dinner ready. I also have a countdown to Christmas. So what do you need to be doing now in November so that you can be more successful and enjoy your time with your family in December? And this year in 2020, I've added some 2020 tips. And I kind of want to talk about 2020 holiday survival tips. If you are shopping online, you are going to want to shop early. Just this
Yes.
week, I went to FedEx, UPS, and the U.S. Postal Service, and talking with them about shipping. Some of them are having shipping deadlines for the lowest rate of shipping as early as December 13th, which means if you have not shopped online by December 13th, you may be paying higher shipping rates to get things there by Christmas. Amazon is not guaranteeing 2-day shipping for all of their items. And the closer you get to Christmas, the higher the shipping prices are going to be. So I encourage people to shop early, but shopping early is hard if you don't know what you're shopping for. And so you want to make a gift giving list. And I have one in the holiday planner, but if you don't want, you can do this on paper. You want to make a sheet for every category of gift you are buying. Now, my children each get their own sheet because I have grandmas and grandpas and finding out what Santa Claus is going to bring and all of that. And I make all of these lists of categories. But then I have a page for teachers. I have a page for service providers, like my mailman and the piano teacher and, all of these service providers that I have, my cleaning lady. And I have a page for coworkers and a page for neighbors and a page for my husband's side of the family and a page for my side of the family. And I'm writing down my budget for all of these people, and I'm writing down gift ideas and the retailers that I can get these gifts at. And then here's where the magic happens. You take all of your sheets and you're like, well, I need something for Uncle Fred at Kohl's, and I need something for the mailman at Kohl's, and I need something for my daughter at Kohl's. And you only do one shopping trip there. And that is going to save you, whether that shopping trip is virtual or in person, you are saving time because you are doing one trip to each retailer. You're saving shipping because you have a higher volume, so your shipping rate's going to be lower at these retailers. And so you're saving costs on shipping, you're saving time. And the other great thing about the gift giving list that I have is, where did you hide it? Because how many times have we bought an item and I've done it. That's why I put it on there. You bought it and then you go to wrap it and you can't find it. And you're like racking your brain and you're tearing up your house. And so there's a place on there to write where you hid it.
I love it. I love it.
And so it's all part of just bringing back, getting it out of your head and onto paper. And that's going to give you that calm. And then you're saving time because you're not running all over town. You have what you need from each retailer, and you can be much more put together.
Oh my goodness, you are so right. Let's see here. Nancy says her win for this week is completing Facebook community training and pre-test on to the official certification. You rock, Nancy. She said, good to know and truth. This has been great. I appreciate you for being here. These tips. I hope you ladies are writing it down because I have. I definitely will drop it in the feed. As you guys see, I have it scrolling across, Feed Your Family Tonight planner. So I will get you guys more information on her planner and what she's all into and all about. I think it's so super cool that we have someone here on here that's giving us tips on how to make our life easier so we can go after our what's next. And that is so important, ladies. I keep telling you, ladies, I bring on women other than myself to show you that you can go after whatever you want to go after, just with some tweaking, with some tools, and better yet, with the support. And here is where your support is, and we're here for you. I definitely can tell you if I can't do it, I don't know everything. You see, my tribe consists of thousands of women. Somebody in the group I can reach out to and they will be able to help you. So I definitely believe in that. So here's your support system on helping you get moving onto your what's next. Well, I'm going to give you a moment to breathe. Nancy says, I forget me too, Nancy. I'm always forgetting where I stash gift. And then when it gets in January, I'm like coming across, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is where I put it. And then I'll have to use it for the birthday.
Yeah. I've done it.
Oh my goodness. I'm always, and then now that my grandkids are a little older, especially my grandson, I don't know if you heard him, he peeked in, but he'll try to pop on here every now and then. But if he's with me, I have to wait till he goes to sleep. That's really when I be forgetting, because if not, he will be watching for where the gifts are. So then he can tell his sister where the gifts are. So then they can work to cahoot on how they're gonna get the gifts without us knowing. So that's how they work over here. They tag team it. So yes. Well, sit back for a little bit, and the next half we're going to do some fun, and so everyone get to know you more. But I want everybody to know it's Win Wednesday. Now, Sherry's told her win. Nancy's told her win. You'll get to hear Marie and my win later on. Yeah, clever kitties. You're right. You're right, Nancy. But you'll get to hear our wins later in the show. But we definitely would love to hear your win out there. I know there's some more of you out here wants to tell us your wins. And if you need help on trying to figure out, okay, Pam, I don't even know where to start at to even talk about getting to my win. Drop me a feed, drop it in the feed and say, I need help. And I definitely reach out to you. If you guys are interested in getting connected with Marie, we'll get her there. And these are some amazing tips on the planner, the planning sheet. Ladies, here's our another golden nugget. So drop it in the feed below. But before we go back and bring Marie back into the conversation, I wanted to let you know this half of the show is sponsored by At the Table. At the Table is a nonprofit organization here in Columbus, Ohio. Now they did have their virtual yearly woman empowerment luncheon, which was amazing. Now they're gearing up for 2021. So be on the lookout for that. But it's At the Table here in Columbus, Ohio, where they empower young ladies and young women to go after their dreams and desires, no matter what. And you know how you can do it. You just sit around the table and talk about things, and that's how At the Table come about. So drop it in the feed below. If you would know more about At the Table, I will also drop the link on how to get connected to such an amazing organization. Well, we're almost to the end of our show, Mary. Mary, here I go again, Marie. And so I'm so sorry. I'm like, why is she doing that? But what, real quick, so do you read any books? I mean, how do you have time to do that? And if you are reading any books, what are you currently reading?
Right now I've got it on my desk. I'm reading Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat by Samin Nosrat. I read cookbooks like novels, and this one is actually a book that has a little bit of a novel. I also just finished Ian Morgan Cron's The Road Back to You. It's a book about the Enneagram and learning about how different personalities are wired and how we all contribute, which I think I'm always on a quest for self-knowledge so that I can be the best me that I can be, and I can help others be the best that they are, working in their gifts and talents. So that's what I've been reading.
I will definitely do. I love dropping in the feed about the books we read, because I believe for those of us that are on the path or going to be on the path, I always believe about expanding our minds, and what way to do it is doing some reading. Now, I don't physically read. I do the Audible because it helps me during the busy days. So it helps me with the Audible. But I just want everyone to know I do this, and I ask every guest because I want you guys to know here's where you're building up your library. I have so many books, and actually I'm right now reading The Compound Effect, which is really good. Yeah, I read this once, and now I'm back to reading. I believe in reading books several times. So this one is, I am reading, and Uncloned, which is really all about the marketing on how to make your business uncloned, doing it in a different, unique way. So I really am reading those too. So it's really good. What is something that is fun, something funny that you would like our guests to know about you?
Funny. Oh, okay. My previous job was selling cemetery plots.
Really?
Yeah. I worked for a nonprofit cemetery, and I worked mainly with pre-sales. So like people didn't need a plot right away. They were just thinking in the future. I did a
Yeah.
little bit at Mead, but I sold cemetery plots as that was my contract job, and I loved every minute of it. I
Did
loved
you?
talking with the people. I loved helping them. Even when I was working with families, I worked with some families and tragedies too, and
Yes.
being being a voice of love and kindness and compassion, and also a little bit of sanity, because when especially big tragedies happen, people don't have any clarity, and you're there to
True.
just be rock solid and clarity. And so that's something that's a little funny and odd about me. The other thing about me is that I am a wedding singer. I I'm a professional soloist, and I sing for weddings like opera.
Nice. Oh my goodness, that is so great. So great. Wow. I am just really blown away by that. I love that is so I love that. Love, love, love that. Commend you for that. With that being said, before we finish off here, what was your win for this week?
My win for this week was I am doing, this is my second of three webinars today, and my win was just going out and helping busy families start recapturing a little calm in the crazy. That is my mission. That is my joy. And I love nothing more than sharing the message. And so my win this week was being able to share the message with so many people.
I love it. I have to say my win for this week is I have been doing a podcast all since last week. I've been doing I've been on someone else's podcast as well as doing mine every day since last Sunday. So yeah. And
You're
so
busy.
yeah. And so I cannot wait until Friday because that is going to be my downtime. But I've been doing that as well as I am still completing my big project. I can't wait to share with everybody my big project, but I've been really working on that too. So yes, I can't. It's coming around. It's coming together. But these last couple of days, I'm counting down. Sadly to say, but I am counting down. Don't get me wrong, though. I love it. This is what I love. I'm doing what I love to do. So that totally makes so different than the attitudes and everything like this. Now I can say this, now that you have provided me with the tips and tools on how to be stressless with the food on the table, this is going to ease up a little bit more. This is going to make my day a little bit more easier. So with that being said, what is something you would like to leave our listeners and our followers with?
You know, I want to encourage listeners and followers to know that it doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect. It doesn't have to be totally nutritionally balanced all the time. When you are busy and you're having a busy season, feeding your family is enough. And know that if you are getting chicken nuggets or a box of macaroni and cheese on the table, you are enough. And if it's a little fancier a couple of days later, great. If it isn't, it's okay. But know that it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're all out there just doing our best, and you are enough.
Oh, so true. So, and then how can everyone find you and connect with you?
Sure. Find me at feedyourfamilytonight.com. That's my website where you can get the holiday planner, feedyourfamilytonight.com/holiday. And join me if you ever have questions or want to connect. Join me in the Feed Your Family Tonight Facebook group. That is where I connect with a lot of my listeners from my podcast. That's where they ask questions. I post my meal plans every week so you can get some inspiration, because sometimes we get stuck in our heads and we need
Mhm.
someone else to give us some ideas. So I'm always posting my meal plans. And if you ever want to see a little behind the scenes, sometimes you'll even see some bloopers from my TV time. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at Marie Fiebach, MarieFiebach, and I'm usually posting behind the scenes. And again, every once in a while, you'll get a gem of a blooper, or my 15-year-old daughter will do parodies of me, and you'll laugh so hard you cry because she's spot on and she totally makes fun of me, and I love it. So if you want some behind the scenes antics of my family of six, you can find me on Instagram at Marie Fiebach.
Love it. So you guys, I can not believe that the time has came. It's gone by so fast, which again, I'm doing what I'm love and I'm loving who I'm having my co-host with. I tell you ladies, I'm telling you, these are the gems here, and I'm bringing them to you. So if you're needing a tribe for support, you're here. We're here for you. Again, if you need help, I can't help you. I have thousands of women that I can go to and say, hey, someone needs help. Can you help them? Because again, I am not the know-all guru. Well, Miss Mary, is there something, Mary? Here I go, Marie. Is there something you would like to leave our listeners with before we close it out?
You know what? Yes. If you want to have a calm holiday season, get the ideas out of your head and get them on paper. And that's going to give you space and time. You can use my planner or you can just do it on a notebook. But get the things out of your head, and that's immediately going to give you calm.
Love it. Well, everyone, it's time has came and gone. It's amazing and fun. As you all know how I always do it. I always tell you guys to go out here and live your life. Be intentional and know you only get one life. So why not live it to the best, to the fullest? And remember, take care of yourself. And lastly, if no one has not told you yet, remember, you guys are amazing and you rock. And know and then that we will be back here same time next week with another amazing co-host. Again, my name is Pam Stone, and thank you for joining us here at What's Next Podcast for Women. Until next time, you guys, bye.